Hey guys, how you doing? Listen, let me share something with you in this video that I've learned, and I've never shared this with anyone. I want to share it with you guys, and it's how to get a woman to notice you, right? And it's nothing weird or strange like all my teachings are not. They're genuine, honest. So how to get a woman to notice you, and within noticing you, get attracted to you, and give you the opportunity to then capitalize from her noticing you, build a conversation, and increase your chances of getting a girlfriend, a date. And I've done this quite a few times, and it's worked. And this is something that happened by accident. I didn't plan it; it just happened without me realizing it. And I was sitting at home the other day, and I was backtracking. You know, when you're thinking about life, because there's a lot of time to think with all this self-isolation, and it made sense. And I thought, I've saw this work for other men, and today I'm just fascinated, right? I'm going to go into the psychology. I definitely want to get you guys' thoughts. I want to know what you think about this below, and then I want to know how many of you have experienced this. So listen to this, right? It's nothing fancy. Every time, right? Every time I wear a white shirt, right? And like a suit, like what I'm wearing now. Whenever I dress in something smart, and it doesn't have to be a white shirt, but I would say a white shirt is more powerful. But every time I put on a shirt and I've looked smart and I've gone out to see my family or a job interview, or I've had to go somewhere with a client, or I've just been going for a walk, or I've been going to a doctor's appointment, every time I've noticed, out of several dozen women, there's always been at least one woman that has been walking past me on the street or in public or in a shop that has looked over at me and stared at me, and I can obviously see she likes how I look, because of the suit, right? Now, I've noticed this, and back in the day when I didn't have much confidence, I used to be really shy and had bad social anxiety. I couldn't do much about it. I would just be happy. Oh, I'm really pleased. The woman noticed me. Wow, does she like me? But I didn't have the confidence to start a conversation, right? Because there's one thing noticing a woman noticing you and looking at you and smiling and looking at, your suit or that you dress nice. But it's another thing to have the courage and the confidence in that moment to be able to start a conversation, because we're not going to generalize here, right? But I'm going to speak from experience. I can't really do anything more than that. In most cases, not all cases, usually it's not likely that a woman is going to look at a man in the street. She will look at you, but she's not going to start a conversation, ask you out. Usually it's a man's job to do that. Men are expected to do that, right? Now, there have been some cases, like I said, there have been some cases where women have actually started conversations with me, but I've found that to be very rare within all my experience, and I've spoken to thousands of women, as you know or may not know. If you're new to my channel, by the way, my name is Johnny Berba, and I help guys to get control of their fear and their anxiety and their life anxiety and social anxiety, so they can build more confidence and be a better person in life and create the life that they want, and build honest relationships with women and people, and achieve their dreams and take action and much more, right? So if it's your first time on the channel and you're enjoying what I'm saying, hit the like button. Don't be rude, be polite. Comment below and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and sharing the video with one of your friends that you think this could help, alright? So let's get into it. So like I said, in my experience, it's quite rare that women will, first of all, look at you, right? I mean, that's not rare. It's not rare that they'll look at you, but it's rare that they'll look at you and start a conversation, right? But guess what? Literally a couple of days ago, this is what happened to me, right? I was wearing the exact same clothes, right? And obviously with all the self-isolation and social distancing, I wasn't even thinking about meeting anyone. But I like looking smart. It makes me feel good, right? I want to set a good example. I want to beat those fears and voices that tell us we're not good enough and all the rest of it. So I left my house. I was going for a walk to get some food from Subway, and on the other side of the road, because there was no one else on the road, I noticed a nice looking lady, right? She was a woman. I don't think she was in her 20s. She was definitely, I would say, 30 plus, possibly 29, but I doubt it. I noticed her staring at me, right? And I wasn't in the mindset, I'm going to go out today, speak to women. My mindset was, let's go for a walk and get some food. I was still trying to process all of what's going on with the coronavirus, the way the world's shut down. I'm thinking about my family, is everyone all right? And I notice her, in the peripheral of my vision. Like I'm staring at the camera now. On this side, on my left-hand side, I can see her staring at me for a long time. So as I turn my body around and I make eye contact with her, she's like looking at me. So I knew that she obviously liked something about me or how I was dressed, but she didn't say anything. So as we continued, I decided to start a conversation because she initiated by looking at me, right? Body language, eye contact. So I just said, hi, how you doing? I think I said, hi, how you doing? I noticed she looked at me, and she stopped dead in her tracks. I stopped. Now, bearing in mind, this is crazy, and I'll get to this in a second because we both made a joke about social distancing, right? We were well apart from each other. Like, she was on one side of the road, I was on the other. So we were abiding by the rules anyway of the government, 2 meters. We were triple the time space within that distance, much further ahead. But anyway, I basically said to her, like, hi, because you're staring at me, you're smiling at me. I'm a friendly person, I've noticed that. You're nice, hello. And she was like, hi. And before I knew it, we was in a full-blown conversation. She happened to say she's from Russia. She asked me where I'm from, right? She showed interest. I said, I'm from the UK, I'm from here, but I'm also Irish descent. I've got Irish in me as well. We started talking. We were talking about bit about social distancing, and she seemed to be in good spirit. She had us shopping. I said, oh, you're pretty brave, you're still coming out. And we just got into it, right? And it didn't go anywhere. It didn't go into like a date or anything, but she told me she lives around here, I live around here. But my point being, that was a great success for me, and I feel for her as well, because that was something that came out of nothing, and it comes back to what I said. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the most important thing, right? I swear to God, it's the truth. She said, you look really nice. Before I even complimented her, she said, I like the white shirt with the jeans, because I had this same white shirt on, same black jacket, and I might have had the same jeans on. If you see my jeans, it doesn't really matter anyway. My jeans are dark, right? So she specifically said, you look nice. I like the white shirt with the jeans. It looks good on you. And I said, oh, thank you very much. You also look nice. I like the way that you look today. So this happened. If I would have came out with different clothing on, she wouldn't have noticed me, because she specifically said, I like the white shirt with what you're wearing. You look nice, right? So I didn't strategically put these clothes on to get reactions from a woman interested in me. But what I'm trying to say to men is, if you're a guy at the moment who feels, because a lot of guys write to me like, Johnny, I don't get any attention from women, I never got girls growing up at school, I'm lonely, can you help me? It goes in hand with my whole philosophy of coming fearless about taking responsibility. Any man who dresses smart, I don't care what he looks like, his body shape, is going to stand out more to women, to people, look more attractive. And I think every guy, right? Every guy, every time I've had a client, friends growing up, people that I see down the street, I don't know, every man looks better in a suit. Like, you can't make an excuse and go, oh, I don't wear suits. You can wear a shirt, a nice white shirt. You can buy a cheap one if you can't afford an expensive one. Women appreciate this, it stands out. And, that's happened to me many times. She could have been my girlfriend. That could have been my wife. And it all started because it all come back to what I'm trying to share today. I don't really like the word hack, but it seems the younger generation use this word, right? So I'm trying to communicate with an older audience, younger. This is a hack, right? If you want to stand out more and be noticed and be more attractive to women and increase your chances of getting a date, getting a girlfriend, then you should put on a shirt when you go out. You should make an effort. Bearing in mind, taking a shower, like today I've had a shower. I look smart, don't I? I've creamed my face, brushed my teeth. So it's not like, oh, your looks, because your looks is a separate thing to how you dress, but you can improve your attractiveness and stand out. So I just found this something really fascinating. I want to get you guys taken. I know you guys are going to be fascinated with it. Now, this has happened to me several dozen times. I've got a lot of these true stories. I just can't think of everything off the top of my head. And I've noticed when I've been out before, because I'm quite an observant person, probably like a lot of you guys, right? If you've had social anxiety, it makes you very hyper aware of people and environments for positive reasons and negative, because you kind of always wanted to make sure you're safe in your environment. I've noticed when I saw men walking down the street in a suit, I've noticed women looking at them, staring at them and being interested in them. And I've also noticed, like I said, if I haven't dressed as well, women don't notice me as much. Like I said, right, I've had some women that have actually walked past me and said, "You look nice." They've actually walked up to me and complimented me, right? As I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened. So what I'm trying to say in all this amazing hack, right? You should increase your chances by taking a shower, working out, putting on a shirt, and then going out. Try it for yourself. It's quite a good experiment. And you've got to be quite observant. If you're a guy who walks with his head down, then you're not going to notice it. You've got to be like observant, look up and pay attention to the environment around you. Then you'll notice women looking, because they do look. Women are very observant, as you know, probably more than men. We're generalizing here again, because it's not going to be every woman is always going to be more observant than every man. But the general rule of thumb is that has proven to be true, right? So it fascinated me how women work and the psychology behind it. If you look at the psychology, it's because when a man is wearing a shirt, he's saying a lot of things without saying them. He's saying, "I'm successful, I'm smart." And it plays into all of the attractive boxes, and it's just the association we all have. We all have psychological attachments to things and images, and a suit and a shirt, it does represent power, attractiveness, charm, a gentleman, an English gentleman, James Bond, right? It does kind of symbolize all these things, just like Clark Kent Superman, when he rips his shirt open and he's got the well, I'm not telling you to go out dressed as Superman. I mean, you guys can if you want. If any of you want to go out dressed as Superman, just let me know in the box below, and I might go out in my Batman suit. But no, all jokes aside, it says a lot about you, a businessman or someone that is, a professional, or even if you're not a businessman professional, it makes a good first impression, and it does make women notice you, and it gives you an opportunity to build on that. The same way if you was going on a first date, or if you was going to an event, and it's not just about impressing women, people in general, you look presentable going to a job interview. So I found that fascinating. I wanted to talk about that, put this video up on my channel, and I would love to know in the box below, have you guys ever experienced anything like this? Some of you may, some of you may not. I saw so many of my clients have this when I was taking clients out on 6 weeks program and teaching them how to speak to women and get a relationship. I would notice when they dress smart, especially in a suit and a shirt, women would look over. And it was nice that the lady of they said that, and because sometimes women are scared to compliment men as well. They have their own fears, so it's nice to compliment each other, men and women. So yeah, that's what happened, and it's just really the basics. And it's funny because these were the things my mum and dad told me growing up, like put on a shirt. You don't have to wear a shirt every day, but once in a while make an effort. So let me know what you guys think and feel about that. And like I said, I've got many more of these stories. I can't think off the top of my head because it's happened to me quite a lot when I've been in, or women have come up to me and asked me for directions, or I've actually had women just come up before and just ask me where I'm from because of dressing smart. But when I haven't been dressed smart, I haven't had that sort of attention from women, or they've not noticed me. So it does. But another key thing I want to say before I go, it's one thing looking the part, but you still have to have the confidence, like I had the other day, to carry a conversation out, because women will tell you this. A lot of the times women will give men the sign, but they expect a man to be able to read that sign and lead in the sense of be able to continue the conversation, because the way the woman's communicating is communicating subconsciously, not through words but through body language and eye contact. And obviously we do speak with our facial expressions all the time, and generally most of us can read each other's facial expressions. So when a woman is looking at you and smiling at you and looking up and down, or staring at you for long periods of time, and these are different factors, I might do another video on it, have you got the confidence to be fearless in that moment and say, hi, how you doing? I've noticed you. You know that old joke Will Smith said, I'm just giving you notice that I noticed that you noticed me. It's that type of thing. And this thing's happening every single day around the year. Can you imagine the amount of men and women that could be meeting and getting in relationships, but it's not happening because either the man's too scared to initiate the conversation with a woman when he notices the woman noticing him and giving him attraction, attention, or the other way around, or both. Men and women are scared. So it's fascinating to see, and it's so nice when you experience it, because it proves a lot of the negativity wrong in the media and the negative kind of slandering that men get through speaking to women in public, and it's wrong or it's not appropriate. And I've always said, if you're honest and you're genuine, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's the woman who looked at me first. So I hope you got something out of that. All right, become fearless, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I'm looking forward to getting a conversation going in the box below. All right, so try that, see what kind of results you get. Try that little hack, or you know, basically just put on a shirt and a suit and have a shower and go for a walk and see what happens. And if you do have a woman look at you and she likes you and you're single, then start a conversation. Find out if you get along with her. There's no harm. It's not illegal to talk to a woman. It doesn't mean every woman you speak to you've got to marry her or get a number. No. Start off by having a conversation, see where it goes. Ask her where she's from, see if there's chemistry. I always say to guys, you can't fake and force chemistry. It's either there or it's not. But if you haven't got the courage and the confidence and the honesty and the integrity to carry a conversation out with a woman and ask her where's she from, what does she do, and introduce yourself, then you're not going to get a relationship, all right? Become fearless.